कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। यमुना जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जायामुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया। भगवतेरुत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। नमो पंकजनाभाय नमो पंकजमालिने नमो पंकजनेत्राय नमस्ते पंकजांग्रे। हरे कृष्णा। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 18, chapter entitled Maharaj Parikshit Cursed by a Brahmana Boy, text number 21. Please repeat after me. Atapi yat padanakhavasrishtham जगद्विरिञ्चोपहर्तारनाम्भ शेषं पुनातन्यतमो मुकुन्दा को नाम लोके भगवत्पदाहर्ता। अतापि यत्पादनखावसृष्टं Jagadvirinchopahartaranambha Shesham punatanyatamo mukundat Ko namaloke bhagavat padartaha Atapi yatpadanakhavasishtham Jagadvirinchopahartaranambha Shesham punatanyatamo mukundat Ko namaloke bhagavat padartaha Matajis. Word-to-word meaning. Ata, therefore. Api, certainly. Yat, whose. Padanakha, nails of the feet. Avasrishtham, emanating. Jagat, the whole universe. Virincha, Brahmaji. Uparata, collected. Arahana, worship. Ambaha, water. Sa, along with. Isham, Lord Shiva. Unati, purifies. Anyatamaha, Who else? Mukunda. Besides the personality of Godhead Sri Krishna. Ka. Who? Nama. Name. Loke. Within the world. Bhagavat. Supreme Lord. Pada. Position. Artha. Worth. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Who can be worthy of the name of the Supreme Lord but the personality of Godhead Sri Krishna? Brahmaji collected the water emanating from the nails of his feet in order to award it to Lord Shiva as a worshipful welcome. This very water, the Ganges, is purifying the whole universe, including Lord Shiva. Purport. The conception of many gods in the Vedic literatures by the ignorant is completely wrong. The Lord is one without a second, but He expands Himself into many, and this is confirmed in the Vedas. Such expansions of the Lord are limitless. Some of them are the Supreme Lord Himself in full, and some are the living entities. The living entities are not as powerful as the Lord's plenary expansions, and therefore there are two different types of expansions. Lord Brahma is generally one of the living entities, and Lord Shiva is between the Lord and the living entities. In other words, even demigods like Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, who are the chief amongst all demigods, are never equal to or greater than Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The goddess of fortune Lakshmi and all the powerful demigods like Brahma and Shiva are engaged in the worship of Vishnu or Lord Krishna. Therefore, who can be more powerful than Mukunda, Lord Krishna, and thus factually deserve to be called the Supreme Personality of Godhead? The goddess of fortune Lakshmi ji, Lord Brahma, and Lord Shiva are not independently powerful. They are powerful as expansions of the Supreme Lord, and all of them are engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Lord, and so also are the living entities. There are 4 sects of worshipful devotees of the Lord, and the chief amongst them are the Brahma Sampradaya, Rudra Sampradaya, and Shri Sampradaya, descending directly from Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and the goddess of fortune Lakshmi, respectively. Besides the above mentioned 3 Sampradayas, there is the Kumara Sampradaya, descending from Sanat Kumar. All of the 4 original Sampradayas are still scrupulously engaged in the transcendental service of the Lord up to the present day, and they all declare that Lord Krishna, Mukunda, is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and that no other personality is equal to Him or greater than Him. Om Ajnana-timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Mukam karoti vachalam Pangum langayate girim Yatkripatamaham vande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanyam Ishwaram. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pavchatya Deshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Yonta pravishya mama vachamimam prasuptan sanjivayata kila shakti dhara swadhamna anyam shahasta charana shravana tvagadin pranan namo bhagavate purushaya tubhyam katanchana smrite yasmin duskaram sukaram bhavet vismrite viparitam sya Shri Chaitanya namamitam. Hare Krishna. We welcome all devotees and guests for our Sunday program, Sunday Feast program. Today we are reading a very beautiful purport of Srila Prabhupada, which we will discuss today. And there are two nice themes that stand out from today's purport. But before we dive into this section, this purport of Srila Prabhupada, let us briefly discuss the story so far, what is happening, what is really happening now in this episode. So we are reading which chapter of the first canto? 18th chapter. Now, before this, in the 17th chapter, Maharaj Parikshit is presented as an ideal king, best king. And the most striking and unprecedented example of confronting and chastising a personality, none other than Mr. Kali. So he is confronted Kali and he improved the situation of earth and is now ruling the world, which was given to him by his grandfather. And he is a great success story. Now we are entering 18th chapter. We have already entered and we are discussing in the middle of the 18th chapter where after explaining Parikshit Maharaj's rule, which is so great, Sutta Goswami now starts explaining the events that leads to his renunciation of the kingdom. So he has done so much and now he is renouncing. So in this chapter also, in the first 10 verses we saw Parikshit Maharaj's birth, his death and his confronting Kali. All of this summary is given in the first 10 shlokas. And then from 11 to 17, which was last week, we discussed in great detail how the sages are extremely excited. They are delighted because what Sutta Goswami did, Sutta Goswami, after explaining the summary of Parikshit Maharaj's activities, he said, so all the questions you asked, I have answered. So Bhagavatam class is over. Thank you very much. That's what he did. Because the sages had asked 6 questions, which he answered in the first, 3-4 chapters, and then second, third chapter. And then the sages asked further questions on Parikshit Maharaj, Sukadeva Goswami, and origin of Bhagavatam. So all that he has answered now by 10th verse of the 18th chapter. So Bhagavatam class is over. But then the sages get excited. They say, hey, how can you stop? We have to hear more. So then they start explaining how, Konama Tripe Bhagavat Kathanam. So how can we be satisfied by hearing more? We want to hear more and more. Mahat Tamaikanta Parayanasya. So this is a great shelter. Krishna Katha is great shelter. So they are saying, oh Sutta Goswami, you are Bhagavat Pradhana. You can give Krishna. And we are Shushrushatam. We are desperately eager to hear more. So what a combination. Somebody wants to give Krishna and somebody is eager to hear Krishna. So Srila Prabhupada writes there that just like a potent man and a fertile woman, if they come together as husband and wife, then by their combination, a child is born. Similarly, Srila Prabhupada says, if the speaker is potent, is carrying Krishna, and if the hearer is eager to hear about Krishna, then by that combination, Krishna will appear in the heart. So like this, the sages, in that section, we saw the qualities of the hearer and the speaker of Bhagavatam. And now we have entered this 18 to 23 section, which is where Sutta Goswami is now very inspired, impressed. Okay, the audience is really eager to hear. So he starts thanking and he starts glorifying Krishna. So what we are reading now is we are glorifying Krishna. That section is happening. So we are zooming into the section So in this section also, first we read how we have to serve, follow the instructions of authorities, we have to have conversation, Bhagavatam discussion with great souls. So this is, we discussed 3 or 4 days back. Then Sutta Goswami says the power of chanting the holy names of Krishna. And then we saw yesterday, it's a verse where goddess of fortune, Lakshmi Devi, she is anchoring for Krishna's service. Like that. And today we are reading, emphatically Sutta Goswami is saying that who else but only Krishna can be called as Bhagavan. Because the water from his toenails, what is the water from toenails of Krishna called? Mother Ganga. And she is, Jai Shri Radha Gopinath Bhagavan ki Jai, Lalita Vishaka ki Jai, Shri Gopalji Bhagavan ki Jai, Shri Shnitai Gaur Chandra ki Jai. So today's verse is saying that this Ganga is collected by Brahmaji and it is purifying the 3 worlds, including Lord Shiva gets blessed. And Srila Prabhupada writes a very beautiful purport which we have taken up today, where he emphasizes on 2 points. First, how all the Devatas, including Brahma, Shiva and all the living entities, everybody is serving Krishna. That is their position. That is the first point. And the second point Srila Prabhupada explains in detail is about the 4 sampradayas. So let us try to do justice to this purport of Srila Prabhupada by discussing these 2 themes. And Srila Prabhupada begins the purport by dismissing pantheism, that, worshipping anything and everything as God. Srila Prabhupada very clearly says God is one. And then Srila Prabhupada speaks about, actually the last verse, he continues that same explanation of Lakshmiji is serving Krishna, and now Brahmaji also wants Charanamrit, Lord Shiva wants Charanamrit. It is amazing how we see that human beings, they are desperate to get favor of the Devatas. And Devatas want mercy of Lakshmiji. And Lakshmiji is always serving Lord's lotus feet. And Krishna, the Lord, is absolutely independent of her service. That means if the Lord accepts our service, then we are not doing him a favor, he is doing us a favor. It is his mercy that he accepts our service. And today we are reading how Brahma and Shiva are also taking Lord's Charanamrit. It's amazing. They are engaged in worship of Vishnu. When Lord Shiva is doing dhyan, he is remembering Krishna. So like a lawyer, lawyer builds his case. One by one he makes a point. And he says, oh, my dear honor, the best of the judges. Similarly, Sutta Goswami is building point by point. Oh, best of the sages, he is saying. Please consider, in this verse today is declaring, please consider who is more worthy than Krishna as the Supreme Lord. Everybody, whatever we have, we are deriving from Krishna. So like that, very beautiful section. Actually, we will find similar verse in the 3rd canto. Lord Kapiladev, he says about Lord Shiva, Shiva, Shivo, Bhut. That shloka comes where he explains that Lord Shiva becomes more purified when he remembers Krishna's lotus feet. And Krishna's lotus feet is like a thunderbolt. The verse Kapiladev says is, a thunderbolt crashes on the mountain and reduces that mountain into powder. Similarly, when we meditate on Lord Gopinath's lotus feet, then that will act as a thunderbolt and destroy the mountain of sin in our heart. This is the verse that Kapiladev says. So like this, very beautiful section. And Srila Prabhupada is talking about the 4 sampradayas. There are 4 sampradayas which have glorified Krishna, 4 parties, but not like the political party of this world. Here all the 4 parties are happy to glorify Krishna, but their rasa is different, their taste is different. Like we have the Brahma Sampradaya. See, Krishna gave knowledge to 4 personalities. Brahma, Lakshmi, Lord Shiva and 4 Kumaras. So Brahmaji gave knowledge, and that Sampradaya is called as Brahma Sampradaya, Madhva Sampradaya, Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. These are the same names. And the main Acharya has been Madhvacharya and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Dvaita philosophy was given how living entity and God are different. And Mahaprabhu very beautifully harmonized Achintya Veda Veda. So this is one sampradaya. The second sampradaya is Lord gave knowledge to Lakshmi. And this is known as Lakshmi Sampradaya, Sri Sampradaya, Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya, Ramanuja Sampradaya, same name. The main Acharya in this Sampradaya is Sri Ramanuja Acharya. And he gave the Vishishtadvaita Vad, which is specific or purified monoism. And then Lord Krishna also gave this knowledge to Shiva Sampradaya, which is also known as Rudra Sampradaya or Vishnu Swami Sampradaya or Vallabhacharya Sampradaya. Main acharyas here have been Vallabhacharya and Vishnu Swami. And the main philosophy here is Shuddhadvaita Vad, which is basically purified monoism. So like that, we have three Sampradaya. And then the fourth, Prabhupada, after explaining these three in this purport, he says there is another Sampradaya. Krishna also gave knowledge to the four Kumaras, and this is known as the Kumara Sampradaya or Nimbarka Sampradaya, Nimbaditya Sampradaya or Sanakadi Sampradaya, like that. Same name. And the main Acharya has been Nimbarka Acharya. And their philosophy is Dvaita Advaita Vad, both duality and non-dual. So we'll not get into the technical aspects because it's basically four Sampradayas, and our Sampradaya ISKCON is in which of these four? Brahma Madhva Sampradaya, and we are known as Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. Actually, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took initiation in this Sampradaya, and then the whole parampara continued like that. In fact, Jiva Goswami and then Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, all of us, we were in this Sampradaya. But suddenly what happened in around 1770, our Sampradaya was about to be threatened to be not acknowledged and not accepted in India, in the Vedic culture. Because the king of Jaipur was worshipping Radha Govind. So the Ramanandis, they are an offshoot or they are a branch from the Sri Sampradaya only. So they declared to the king that this is, you should not worship Radha and Krishna together. This is wrong. And the Gaudiya Pujaris were removed from worship. And they said this is not a bona fide Sampradaya. So then the king sent a message to Vrindavan. And Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur was very old that time. So he asked Baldev Vidyabhushan to go and represent. And Baldev Vidyabhushan came and he gave powerful arguments. He made excellent presentations. And he presented how we are a bona fide Sampradaya. We are in the Madhva, Brahma Madhva, that line. But the Ramanandis were not happy. They said, where is your commentary on Vedanta? We want Vedanta commentary. So then Baldev Vidyabhushan said, Jiva Goswami has explained in the Sandarbha that we don't need a commentary on Vedanta because Bhagavatam is a natural commentary on Vedanta. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not encourage writing a commentary on Vedanta because we didn't want to supersede Madhvacharya. Madhvacharya has already written. So they said, no. But if you are a bona fide Sampradaya, then you should have your commentary on Vedanta. So then, because of that challenge, they said, we'll give you 18 days to prove on the basis of your own commentary on Vedanta. But then Baldev Vidyabhushan took complete shelter of Radha Govind. He intensely prayed and the Lord revealed to him, you just write, I will dictate. And in 7 days he completed the commentary and it became, and when he presented this commentary on Vedanta Sutra, he called it Govinda Bhasya because Govinda Dev spoke this. Everyone was stunned. The Ramanandis were absolutely stunned hearing this. And they declared that Gaudiya Sampradaya is bona fide. Not only that, in fact, they were so mesmerized by Baldev Vidyabhushan's presentation that they were willing to take initiation from him and join this Sampradaya. And Baldev Vidyabhushan said, no, you are in proper Sampradaya of Lakshmiji, so you continue your service. And therefore you see Srila Prabhupada, he dedicated his Bhagavad Gita. Like Prabhupada dedicated his Krishna book to his father. Bhagavad Gita he dedicates to Srila Baldev Vidyabhushan. He gave us Govinda Bhasya. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is so amazing. He harmonized all the four, he harmonized the four Sampradayas because he took two excellent points from each of these four Sampradayas. And that's how ISKCON, see the process that we are following under Srila Prabhupada's mercy and Srila Prabhupada's direction. He is the best of the four Sampradayas. Means Mahaprabhu took two best things from each of the four Sampradayas. Like from Madhvacharya, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took two principles. Absolute smashing of Mayavad philosophy. And second, anybody knows? Deity worship. Because in Madhva Sampradaya they worship the deities. From Shri Sampradaya, from Ramanuja Sampradaya, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took two principles. Vaishnava Seva. So that is very much given importance, no, in ISKCON. That is Mahaprabhu took from Shri Sampradaya. And second is Ananya Bhakti, that is free from karma and jnana, pure devotional service. And then from Rudra Sampradaya or Vallabhacharya's tradition, Mahaprabhu took two principles. Total dependence on Krishna and Raganuga Bhakti, spontaneous devotional service. And then from Nimbarka Sampradaya or the four Kumaras, two amazing principles that Mahaprabhu took is shelter of Srimati Radharani and the bhava of gopis, how they love Krishna. So see, technically if you see, we are in Madhva Sampradaya, but if you see very closely, that in terms of rasa, we are very close to Nimbarka Sampradaya, in the sense, Aradhya Bhagavan Brajeshatanaya, we worship Srimati Radharani, and the only difference in Nimbarka and our Sampradaya is they give preeminence to Swakiya Rasa and ours is Parakiya Rasa. And Dvaita Advaita is similar to Achintya Beda Beda, but Achintya is more qualified. That's Krishna's mercy. By Krishna's mercy only we can know, like that. So anyway, there is a beautiful, this is the beautiful aspect of our history and tradition which Srila Prabhupada has glorified in this purport. And therefore, we are so blessed that we are in ISKCON, which is the best of the four sampradayas, and Srila Prabhupada is carrying forward the tradition which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. And now we can take the second theme, which is also mentioned in today's purport, which is all devtas and all living entities are servants of Krishna. This is another purport. And this is a common thing in all four sampradayas. See, externally, Ramanandis, Ramanandis, they may be a little different. Like for example, Ramanandis say Rama and Sita is supreme. We say Radha and Krishna. And Shri Sampradaya, the origin of Ramananda Sampradaya, they say Vishnu and Lakshmi. Like that. So, but all of them say we are servants of Krishna. Servants of Vishnu, Narayan, same thing. So there is no difference. We should not get into the fighting or debate. And when people argue, oh, Krishna is ordinary, then all the four sampradayas will come together. And within our sampradaya, within our discussion, the rasa is different. Everybody, the four sampradayas will worship little differently. Like one argument people give, because today's purport is saying, Prabhupada is emphatic, we are all servants of Krishna. Krishna is Supreme Lord, Prabhupada is saying. So sometimes when we present this to people, they say, no, but Krishna was killed, they say like that. He was shot arrow by a hunter on his toe, and then Krishna died, like that they say. So when they give argument like this, all the four sampradaya devotees will come together and they will smash that. And they will quote Shukadeva Goswami from 11th canto, 31st chapter, and they will present arguments. Because if you see 11th canto, where this pastime is described, how all the Yadavas get destroyed and Krishna leaves this world, Shukadeva Goswami only is saying this, that Krishna's toe was shot and he left this world. But same Shukadeva Goswami whom we are quoting conveniently to say that Krishna was killed, we don't take Shukadeva Goswami's next verse, which is the conclusion of this canto, where he establishes that Krishna is not ordinary. He was not killed. That we will not quote. We will quote only one verse. So like that. So there very beautiful explanation is given in the 11th canto, where Shukadeva Goswami declares, if anybody ever challenges, whether it is, that famous, there is a very famous spiritual, so-called spiritual guru in India, who presents Krishna as very ordinary. Or atheistic people, they present Krishna as ordinary. We should quote this verse. Even if you don't know the verse, at least the translation we should quote. This is 11th canto, 31st chapter, text number 12, where Shukadeva Goswami declares loudly and emphatically, Martyena yo guru sutam yamalokanitam tvam chanaya charanadha paramastra dagdam jigyantakantakapi samasavanisha kim swavane swaranayan mrigayam sadeham. Very beautiful verse. He says, oh, you say Krishna is ordinary? Let me present to you 4 arguments. So that you don't get doubts about Krishna, he says, Martyena. The same body Krishna went Martena yo Guru Sutam Yamaloka Neetam. He went to Yamraj's abode to get his sons of the Guru, his Guru's sons. So how can he be dead? How can he be killed? One who goes to the abode of death and gets back his Guru's children. So he cannot be killed if he can go there on the same body. The second argument he gives is, whom is Sukadeva Goswami speaking this to? Parikshit Maharaj. So he says, the second logic is, you, Tvam Chanayat Sharanadha Paramastra Dagdam. You got shelter of Krishna because when you were in the womb of your mother, Brahmastra burnt you and Krishna brought you back to life. And the third is Jigye. Jigye means conquered. Krishna conquered over whom? Jigyanta kantakamapi samasavanisha. Who defeats the agents of death? Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva was defeated by Krishna in the battle. So that means Krishna cannot be defeated by death. And the last argument he gives is, Kim swavane svaranayan mrigayam sadeham. Kim swavane? You think this person cannot protect himself? When Svaranayan, he took whom to spiritual world? Mrigayam sadeham, that hunter who shot an arrow at Krishna's toe, that very hunter in his same body, Krishna sent him back to spiritual world right there. So how can he be dead or how can he be killed? Beautiful, no? Logical arguments he gives like that. But like this, there are many evidences in the Bhagavatam which establishes how Krishna is not ordinary, Krishna is Supreme Lord. What Prabhupada is writing in today's purport, if you have to prove that statement, then you will get plenty of evidences from Bhagavatam. And we are seeing in today's verse, Devatas are also recognizing Krishna is Supreme Lord. And regarding this also, there are many evidences in the Bhagavatam. But we will take only one evidence I want to take. See, and this is very interesting. Why, we will take an evidence which is given by the Devatas themselves. See, Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita says, I am Supreme Lord. We will say, okay, Krishna bol rahe hain, theek hai. But when Devatas are saying Krishna is Supreme Lord, we should take it very seriously. Like, if there are two political parties, A and B, we will not take names because it becomes controversial. But you can add, in your mind, you can add AP or JP, like that you can add. So A and B. So two parties are there. So A party will say what? We are the best. We are the greatest. And B political party will say, we are the best. We should rule the country. We will serve the country. Like that. Both will always say like that. But imagine A political party, they call a press conference. And all the people are there. And all the top leaders of this A political party are sitting. And they say, B is best. B political party is best. B is greatest. Their leader is best. So if they keep glorifying, then people will take it very seriously, no? So very interesting. So Krishna says in the Gita is Supreme Lord. But if you see the Devatas, when they start glorifying, we should take it very seriously because we are all attached to different Devatas. So you will find a very interesting episode in the 6th canto. There's a very exciting episode happening from 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th. 6 chapters are there, 6.7 to 6.12. What is that pastime? Anybody knows? Which is the most exciting, famous pastime from 6th canto, 7th chapter onwards? Vritrasur. Yes, Vritrasur. So this is a very beautiful pastime. So in this pastime, the secrets are revealed. Generally, if you see in all the Vedic literatures, Vritrasur Indra pastime is mentioned. Indra is presented as hero. But Bhagavatam is so special. In Bhagavatam, the hero is Vritrasur. That's why Bhagavatam is a very special grantha. Like, Bhishma is villain everywhere. Suddenly you see, in Bhagavatam, his devotional side comes out. Kunti Devi is glorified in Bhagavatam. Kunti Devi is, you hardly get to read anything about her in Mahabharata. In the sense, she suffered, but you don't hear her glories so much. Prahlad, see, if you see Narsimhadev pastime, Hiranyakashipu killing, and then Prahlad pastime, in all other, wherever it is mentioned, Narsimhadev comes out as hero. But in Bhagavatam, Prahlad emerges as a hero. So Bhagavatam always glorifies devotees very beautifully. So this pastime is very special, not only because Dhritarashtra is glorified, a pure devotee is glorified, but before this, what is happening is, you see Indra, he offends Brihaspati. Brihaspati is his guru. So then all auspiciousness is gone, the demons attack, and the demigods are frustrated, they are very disappointed, they run to Brahmaji for help. Brahmaji scolds them very badly, then says, you should please Vishwarupa. Vishwarupa performs yajna and gives them what? Narayana Kavacha, and protects them. And then when Vishwarupa is doing yajna, Indra notices that Vishwarupa is secretly also offering oblations to the demons, because he is related to the demon side also. So Indra gets angry, he kills Vishwarupa. So earlier he offended his guru, now he killed another guru. So then Vishwarupa's father becomes very angry, Twashta. He performs a sacrifice, creates Vritrasur to kill the demigods. So then there is a big war, and Vritrasur is creating havoc, and all the demigods are panicking. They don't know what to do. And they run to whom for help? They run to Lord Vishnu this time. Please help us. And now comes a very interesting section where the Devatas are coming to Lord Vishnu. Devatas, whom we are all worshipping all the time, they are telling Lord Vishnu. There's a beautiful prayers. The first prayer they say is, Vayuambaragna Pshitayastri Loka Brahmadayo ye Vayamudvi Jantaha Haramayasmai Balimantakoso Bibeti Yasmad Aranam Tato Naha. First prayer, Deva Uchu, the Devatas are saying that we are controlling air, water, fire, Vayu, Ambar, Agni, Apa, earth, all these elements we are controlling. But interestingly, my dear Lord Vishnu, Brahmadayoye Vayamudvi Jantaha, all of us, including Brahmaji, Udvi Janta, we have our insecurity. Anybody here who has insecurities, fears? You have? Okay. So many of you don't have. Wow, you are all pure devotees. Hari Bol. Brahmaji is also having. So Brahmaji is having. All of them are having. Material world, Prabhupada says, Ahara, Nidra, Bhaya, Maitun. Of these four, Prabhupada says, Bhaya is the most prominent. It is what motivates struggle in this material world. So even Brahmaji has his own insecurities. So they are saying that. So therefore what we are doing, my dear Lord, Haramayasmai Balimantako. So we perform our duties as an offering to time, because time is going to take away everything. But the best part is, Bibeti Yasmad Aranam Tato Naha. This time is afraid of you. What a way they are presenting. The Gajendra also says a similar thing in the 8th canto. Yakaschanesho balinontako ragat prachanda vegat abhidhavato vrisham bhitam prapannam pratipati yadbhayan mrityu pradhavat aranam tato naha. Gajendra says, look at this powerful force that is chasing us. It is a serpent. He says, sab saap ke piche ajgar, python is chasing us and we are running. Balinontaku prachanda vegat, badi tej se bhag raha hai wo. Abhidavatu brisham, and we are running away. And what is it, serpent? Time. Time is chasing us and we are running from this time. That's why when you see the watch, clock, young boy looks at the clock and thinks, "Arey, bahut slow ja raha hai, fast jana chahiye." The same clock an old person sees and he says, "Arey, bahut tej ja raha hai, dheere jao, dheere jao." So time is a serpent. Prachanda vegat, and we are running and the serpent is chasing us and about to swallow us. Prachanda vegat abhidhavato. And then what I do, Gajendra is saying, Bhitam prapannam pratipati yadbhayan. I see you, my dear Lord, and I surrender unto you. And then what happens? So when you see Krishna, Radha, Gopinath, and you come in front of Gopinath and surrender, then who is behind you? Serpent. And you are ahead of that serpent. It's about to swallow you and you are facing whom now? Radha, Gopinath, Krishna. As soon as this situation occurs and you come in front of Krishna, what happens? Bhitam prapannam pratipati yad bayan mrityu pradhavat aranam tatonnaha. The serpent starts running and Krishna starts chasing. पूरा गेम चेंज हो जाता है. वो टॉम एंड जेरी देखा है, टॉम एंड जेरी वैसा है. So Krishna is controlling time. This is the declaration of the Devatas. So then somebody may say, Acha, but everybody is fearful of time. Time is so powerful. We all get bewildered. Krishna never gets bewildered. Devatas say, no. Avismitam tam paripurna kamam svene valabhena samam prashantam vinopasarpat aparam hi balisha shvahalangulena tititarti sindhum. They say, no, Krishna is avismitam. Kabhi vismit nahi hote. Why? Avismitam tam paripurna kamam. He is completely self-satisfied. He doesn't need anything external to do. See, we feel incomplete, so we have to do so many things to feel complete. But Lord doesn't have to do anything. Why? Sveneva labhena samam prashantam. Prashantam. He is completely happy because from his own activities, from his own internal state, he is happy. And then the Devatas are saying, such a person, if you give up, Devatas are telling all of us now, you foolish people of material world, you are giving up this Lord and coming to us. Vinopasarpat aparam hi balisha. You are a childish fool. You are foolish. You are giving up this Lord and coming to us. It is like what? They give an example. Many times, if you want to make a point, analogies are very powerful. आप कितना भी श्लोका सुनाओ, श्लोका में नींद आता है. As soon as you give analogy or joke or something, then suddenly it clicks. So what the Devatas give analogy? They are saying, Shvahalangulena tititarti sindhum. If somebody gives up Vishnu and takes our shelter, it is like holding Shva. Shva means dog. Shvahalangulena, holding the tail of a dog and trying to cross the ocean. Dogs can swim, but can a dog swim across an ocean? And if the dog is attempting to swim that ocean and you hold the tail of that dog, what is your probability of crossing the ocean? So Devatas are so humble, when they are glorifying Lord Vishnu, they are saying we are dogs, like that, out of their humility. In other words, they are saying we should take shelter of Krishna. But you may say, no, my dear Devtaji, you are the one who is creating so many things. You are the engineers in material world. You are responsible. So then they say, yes, we are also doing many things, but let us clarify who we are. Ya eka isho nijamaya yana sasarjayena nusrujami vishvam vayam nayasyapi pura samihata pashyamalingam pritag isha manina. Yes, we do creation in this material world, but Krishna is the original creator. Ya eka isho. And then by his Maya Shakti, we get strength. Sasarjayena nusrujami vishvam. We do the secondary creation, but primary is Krishna. And you may not be able to understand this. We are also not able to understand this. Sometimes Krishna may be right in front of us, but we may not recognize him. So they are saying, the Lord is with us, but we are not able to recognize because Vayam nayasyapi pura samihata, because Pashyamalingam pritagisha manina. We think we are supreme. We think I am the enjoyer. Because of this duality, we are unable to recognize Krishna. So this is very, very powerful. Means they are saying we are so close to Krishna, but we miss him because we have this enjoying tendency. Devatas are saying, what to speak of us? Many of us come to Krishna consciousness and then we read something and then suddenly, because of a small reason, we give up. We come so close, and we miss it. Oh, why is God dancing with so many gopis? No, I don't accept him as God. So that small thing which is preventing us because we don't understand from proper sources. There is a say, in English there is a saying, there is many a slip between the cup and the lip. Chai liya, और होठों में आने तक गिर जाता है. Many a slip between the cup and the lip. Similarly, Krishna is there, Bhagavatam is there, devotees are there, everything is there, but still we miss Krishna. Therefore, and this is because Krishna loves to play hide and seek. Huh? Krishna, it's not that you can control Krishna. That's why this arrow shooting, this hunter shot an arrow at Krishna's toenail. This is enough to bewilder someone and make them leave Krishna consciousness. Even Devatas are bewildered by Krishna's material energy. Indra got bewildered twice. And then Brahmaji. So we need blessings, we need a lot of mercy. But you see, contrast this with the Brajavasis. Amazing. Brajavasis, they have no problem. They also don't accept Krishna as Supreme Lord. But they love Krishna so much. Shukdev Goswami, he explains, he contrasts the Devatas with the Brajavasis. How much love they have. Yat padapam sur bahujanma krichrato dhritatma biryo gibira palabhyaha saeva yadrug vishaya swayam stita kim varnyate dishtamato vrajokasam. Shukdev Goswami says, so many births, you may do lot of tapasya and still you will not get Krishna's lotus feet. Dhritatma bir, lot of discipline you may follow. Yogi bir, api alabhyaha, fir bhi nahi milega. Doing all of that, you may not get Krishna. And look at these Brajavasis. Saeva yatra vishaya swayam stita. जो आप पाने का ट्राई कर रहे हैं इतना तपस्या करके वो ब्रजवासियों के साथ खेल रहे. किम वर्ण्यते दिष्टम अहो ब्रजो कसाम. अरे ब्रजवासियों का भाग्य तो देखो. Look at their great fortune. He is glorifying the Brajavasis like that. So therefore, we have to understand we are very, very far away from Krishna. So therefore, our best bet is Krishna. We have to take shelter of Krishna. So, the Devatas are saying, there are a lot of prayers, we will not take all of them. In one of the last prayers, they say, so I think the only way all of us can now accept and surrender is by chanting his holy names. Namaste yagya viryaya vayase hutate nama. Namaste ashta chakraya nama supuru hutaye. Supuru hutaye means variety of names Krishna has. And he is the one who gives results of yagya. Namaste yagya viryaya vayase hutate nama. He is the one who exhausts the benefits from yagya. And he is the one who wields the chakra. So like this, they are glorifying. Now, if Supreme Lord is glorified, if you are glorified by someone, nicely, what will you say? After the end of the glorification, what will you say? You will say, Arey, thank you very much. You will say like that, no? You will say, I am feeling very flattered. Arey, bahut chada diya aapne, thank you. Or you will say, I am feeling very humbled. Or you will say, Arey, to Krishna ki mercy hai. Like that we say, no? So if you are glorified so much by the top people, imagine the Prime Minister of the country, the President of the country, they come and glorify you. You will say, nahi, bas kijiye. But look at this, the Devatas are glorifying Krishna, Lord. After the end of it, what is Lord Vishnu's reply? He has to reply, no? They are all glorifying. So Lord Vishnu should say, oh, thank you. I am humbled, or I am very grateful to you for your glorification. No. Lord Vishnu's reply is epic. It's an amazing reply. Just see. Basically, Lord Vishnu in his reply makes it very clear. You guys, I am the boss, okay? So he makes it very clear who is the boss. So how does the Lord begin his reply? That's very, very interesting. So he says, he tells the demigods. So demigods have finished prayers. It's, I think, almost 30, 40 shlokas. They are glorifying. Because why they are glorifying? Unka agenda hai. What is the agenda? Vritrasur. Remember, मैंने starting में बोला ना, वो भाग रहे, tension में वो लोग, तो pray कर रहे हैं. And glorification is beautiful. Perfect glorification. But पीछे agenda है. So Lord Vishnu is so amazing. He hears their glorification, and this is how Lord Vishnu replies. Kim durapam mai prite tatapi vibudarshabha mai ekanta matirnanyat मत्तो वांचन्ति तत्ववित् हो डेमिगॉड्स किम दुरापम मई प्रिय। अगर मैं खुश हो गया तो क्या नहीं मिल सकता आपको? दिस इज द रिप्लाइज। किम दुरापम मई प्रीते तथापि बट स्टिल विबुदर्शवा, वो इंटेलिजेंट डेमिगॉड्स, यू आर वेरी इंटेलिजेंट, नो? डोंट यू नो वन थिंग? मई एकांत मतिर्नान्या, इफ somebody worships me, you should not have any other desire. मत्तो वांचन्ति तत्वविद, और कुछ इच्छा नहीं करना चाहिए। तत्वविद जो एक्चुअली सच्चाई को जानता है, he will not ask for anything else other than wanting to serve me. And he is not saying you are asking for all these things, but the message समझने वाले, ईशा क्या है? समझने वाले को इशारा काफी है ना? So समझने वाले समझ गए, जो ना समझे हरि बोल, प्रभु जी हैं वो। Who are they? So we have to understand, oh, Lord is telling them indirectly that you guys are asking for material things. You are asking relief from this war. But actually, if you really love me, you will not ask this. See, Lord is very intelligent. You know what Lord Vishnu tells them? He gives them solution for their problem. What does he tell them? He tells them, go to Dadichi and ask for his bones, and then they make a weapon. Indra makes a weapon and then he attacks Vritrasur. But Lord knows their agenda, and then he tells them, you are all demigods. The whole world, people are coming to you, asking for blessings. They are foolish people, but there is somebody more foolish than them. Who is that? Naveda kripana shreya atmano gunavastu drik तस्यता निच्छतो यच्छेद यदि सोपी तथा विधा। इसे लोगों को पता नहीं है, कृपणा है, दे आर फूलिश पीपल, माइजरली पीपल। न वेद कृपणा श्रेय आत्मनो गुण वस्तु दुख, दे आर कंटामिनेटेड बाय 3 modes. That is why they come to you asking for material benefits. They are foolish people, they are kripana, but there is somebody more foolish than them. Who is that? तस्यता निच्छतो यच्छेद, जो उनकी इच्छाओं की पूर्ति करता है। One who fulfills their desire. यदि सोपी तथा विधा, he is more foolish than them. Again, he is not telling directly. See, जो cultured लोग रहते हैं ना, cultured लोगों में ना directly नहीं बोलते. Like when I was a young boy, we used to watch cricket. So cricket commentators, somebody, we are watching cricket, so we get emotional, no? Somebody hits a bad shot, we used to say, stupid shot. But the commentators would say, that is not one of the best shots he has played. So I used to get angry. ऐसे कैसे बोल रहे हैं? Then my father used to say, no, that is a cultured way of saying that is a stupid shot. Like Brahma Bandhu. Brahma Bandhu मतलब friend of Brahman. वेदों में लिखा है ना? Actually it means low class Brahman. One who is born as Brahman, but he is not qualified as Brahman. He is unqualified, उसको ब्रह्म बंधु बोलते हैं. But अच्छा language अच्छा use करते हैं ना? That is Vedic culture. Like in the airport you will see, they will say, thank you for not smoking. What they are saying is don't smoke. But in cultured, amongst cultured people, directly they don't say. So Lord Vishnu is not directly telling them that you are foolish. You are fulfilling material desires. So he's basically, what is Lord doing? He's scolding them. So they have glorified Vishnu. If somebody glorifies you, you will be thank you and you will be nice to that person because we want approval of everybody. Lord Vishnu is independent. He doesn't want anybody's certificate. He's not thinking how demigods are. See, if you glorify demigods, demigods are obliged to give you benefits. But when demigods are glorifying Vishnu, Vishnu is not saying, "Arey yaar, itna glorify kiya, to let me speak nice with them. Itna mil raha hai glorification." Lord Vishnu is just scolding them. He is not caring for and he doesn't want anything from them. And then finally he says, the last verse is very beautiful. He says, you know what you guys are doing? Swayam nishreyasam vidvan navaktagyaya karmahi narati rogino patyam vanchatopi bishaktama. He says, vidvan, all of you are intelligent, very, very intelligent. So you should know, navakt agyaya karmahi, one who is ignorant comes to you, asks for material benedictions. How can anybody give those material benedictions to them? Like, narati rogino patyam, rogi ko patya rehta hai. When I read this verse first time, I was amazed. Because I was thinking, heavenly planets, people are talking to Lord Vishnu, and Lord Vishnu, to tell them, convince them, is giving an analogy of what? Roga, disease, and patya. So I was thinking, acha, heavenly planets mein bhi bimari hai. So we should give up the desire to go to heavenly planets, because it is not. There also there is some problem. He's saying, na rati rogino patyam. रोगी को पत्य रहता है. Vanchatopi bishaktama. The rogi may say, I want this mithai, but he is diabetic. So what will the doctor do? Will the doctor say, oh, he's a patient, he has come to me, I should be nice to him, let me give him. He's a diabetic, let me give him gulab jamun. No. Lord Vishnu is saying, narati rogino patyam vanchatopi bishaktama. Patient may demand, but the good doctor will not give. Similarly, people may come asking for material benedictions, but you are giving them. That is not good. So, it's a very beautiful conversation. I have just fast forwarded and just taken few shlokas. See, very, very important clarification here. Very, very important disclaimer. If you have not been attentive so far, no problem. This one you should hear. See, very important. See, two things we have to understand from this whole thing. One is, we are very fortunate, all of us. We are in ISKCON, we have got what? Pure devotional service. Directly, Bhagavan ne jo diya hai, wo humko mil raha hai. Second, very important, don't disrespect the Devtas. Don't judge them. Bhagavan Vishnu unko daat rahe. We have to be careful. See, that is their private conversation. And it has made public. Ab internet mein aa gaya hai. Aap don't enter into the comment section. Don't you start commenting on it. Just because you are privy to their intimate pastimes, don't judge them. This is very offensive. See, they are all great devotees, and Lord Vishnu will scold them because they are very dear to the Lord. See, I remember one example many years ago, Gaur Gopal Prabhu gave, that just touched my heart so deeply. After that, I have never had any problems with Devtas. I love all the Devtas. I used to earlier get confused, because when we come, before coming to ISKCON, we were attached to many Devtas. And then when we come here, we think Krishna is Lord, then we feel, but I used to love Ganpati, I like, Lord Shiva. So then confusion aata hai. But that example Gaur Gopal Prabhu gave so beautiful. He said, we should understand Vedic culture is like one joint family. So when a young girl, she gets married and she enters the joint family, she has her husband, she has father-in-law, mother-in-law, sister-in-law, brother-in-law, and her husband's kaka, all of them are there. Big family. So she respects everyone in that family. And she will serve everyone also. But whom will she actually serve? Whom does her heart belong to? Her husband. That is her only love. But others also she loves, she respects. Similarly, in Vedic culture, we as devotees of Krishna, on the basis of Shastra, chanting Hare Krishna, practicing Shravanam, we have given our heart to Krishna. Krishna is our Pati. Krishna is our husband. Krishna is our Lord. And all the other Devtas, they are part of the same family. So we don't disrespect. We respect all of them. In fact, in Vrindavan, if you see, if you go to Vrindavan, you will see the Brajavasis, they love Krishna, but they will respect all Devtas. They will do their father Shraddha, Tarpana, and they will worship all the Devtas. They will respect all the Devi Devtas. I remember once in Nandagaon, we were taking prasad in one of the Goswami's houses, and that Radha Swami Maharaj was also there, and some few brahmacharis were there. Big feast they had prepared. There was chas, sweets, and that sabzi was little tikka, spicy. So while eating, thoda tikka ho gaya. So one of the brahmacharis next to me, he told that Prabhuji, that the Goswami was from Nandagaon. He said, "Arey, aap Thakur ji ko itna tikka khilate hain? You feed the Lord such tikka bhoga?" Immediately he said, because what did the devotee say? "Aap Thakur ji ko itna tikka khilate hain?" And immediately that Prabhuji said, "He's a Brajavasi. He loves Krishna." And what was his first reaction? He said, "अरे ठाकुर जी होंगे आपके? ठाकुर जी तो आपके होंगे, हमारे ठाकुर जी थोड़ी है वो तो, हमारे तो लाला है, ब्रजवासी है वो तो, और वो तो तीखा ही खाते हैं." So like that, he just, and both of us looked at him, and we were wondering, wow, what did he say? We can't imitate that. They love Krishna, and for them, all the Devtas are part of the same family. So we also respect all the Devtas. I know devotees who go to Babulnath and they beg Babulnath ji. What do they ask? Let us serve Krishna, let us serve Radha Gopinath, let me serve devotees, let me not offend devotees. So when we sincerely ask the Devtas for what is good for us, or when we ask them to help us in our devotional service to Krishna, we will become better devotees. Because their blessing, we need everybody's blessings, no? Like I remember Vrishabhanu Prabhu once telling this story that he and Kirtada Mataji, his good wife, for many years, every Friday they would go to Mahalakshmi temple here only. So every Friday they would go. So on 25th wedding anniversary, they were there and they prayed, both of them, that we are coming every Friday to you for last 25 years. And we have been asking for so many blessings. You are giving us also. Now after 25 years of coming to you, now we are requesting you, now you please give us what is best for us, not what we are asking you. And next day they got invitation for JOSD course. And they came to temple and they became devotees of Krishna. So that's very, very important. So this is the section. So what we will do now, we'll just conclude the class. So basically what we have to understand is, from today's purport, we discussed two things. One is the four sampradayas, right? That is the one point. Second is how all the devatas are saluting, respecting, worshipping Krishna. And we have got Krishna. So we should be happy, grateful, and also respect the devatas. And why? If we come to Krishna, what will Krishna give? Krishna will give what is best for us. Sometimes devotees get angry. Because why we get angry? Because we don't get what we want. And we think we know what is best for us. Krishna kaye ama baje mage vishaya sukh amrit chade visha mage yahi bada murkh. Krishna says, Are, he is worshipping me and asking for sense gratification. Oh, he is giving up amrita, he is giving up nectar and asking for visha. Hey, bada murkh, he is a fool. Ami vigya yahi murkha vishaya kene diba. But I am intelligent, Krishna is saying. He is fool, but I am intelligent. Why should I give him wish? Ami vigya yahi murkha vishaya kene diba. Swacharanamrita diya vishaya bulaiva. I will give him my charanamrit. And by that, he will forget sense gratification. And that is what today's verse also is, they are discussing. Charanamrit, Lord's Charanamrit, Brahmaji wants. Lord Shiva wants. We should also aspire that. And especially when devotees go through crisis and suffering. Anybody here has gone through suffering in life? Oh, thank you. More hands came up, so I'm feeling... So, and sometimes you will see, devotees go through suffering exactly like the non-devotees go through, externally. And that time we get bewildered. Oh, what is happening? Arey, main to devotee hu, mere paas aisa kaise ho raha hai? We should know, no, Krishna. See, crisis and suffering is a great chance to change our life. I was a very beautiful lecture I heard of His Holiness Sachinandan Swami Maharaj. Sachinandan Swami Maharaj is one of the senior most leaders in ISKCON. He's been a devotee since 55 years now. Practicing bhakti for so many years. One beautiful lecture he gave. He said, see, he came to ISKCON not like many of us. Many of us came to ISKCON because we wanted friends, job, or association, material desires. He said he came to ISKCON because he was looking for spiritual truth. And despite that, he's saying, despite having a proper purpose, not material purpose, he said after 20 years of being in the movement, he said, I went through a big crisis. And I realized that I am not experiencing all that which I thought 20 years ago I will experience 20 years later. And that was a big crisis for me. I thought I had only two choices now. Give up Krishna consciousness and go for some other spiritual path. Or dive deeper into Krishna consciousness and explore, rediscover. Maybe I've overlooked something. Maybe I ignored something in the last 20 years. So he said, I decided to become a scientist. I started reading the same purports again, same things again. And then I discovered holy name. And then when I understood, like one sentence of Prabhupada I read, he's giving example. Chanting Hare Krishna means carrying the Lord in the heart. He said, this sentence when I read now, it suddenly changed me. You can repeat this sentence after me. Chanting Hare Krishna means carrying the Lord in the heart. So when you are chanting Hare Krishna, you are carrying Krishna in your heart. So Maharaj says, when I read like this second innings, टेस्ट मैच में ऐसा होता है ना, फर्स्ट इनिंग्स में 0 पे आउट हुआ तो सेकंड इनिंग्स में चांस मिलता है. So Maharaj says the second inning started. And then the same purport, same things, he was reading differently. And then he discovered holy name. He says after that his life changed. So crisis is very good if you are going through, because crisis means medically, crisis means turning point where you either die or you become healthy. So spiritual life mein crisis means either we spiritually die or we become better. So now we have a choice to ask this question. Maybe I'm ignoring something in bhakti. Maybe I need to rediscover. And then we will be, Maharaj, you know what he does now? Every year he takes 1 month off only for chanting. All his lectures he gives on chanting. Every day he speaks on chanting because he's experiencing that. So all of us have two things. We have unique fascination in Krishna consciousness and we have unique contribution. There is something which uniquely fascinates each one of us. You may be fascinated by Kirtan. Somebody may be fascinated by deities. Somebody may be fascinated by Bhagavatam. है ना? सबका एक unique fascination है भक्ति में. And also we have a unique contribution. You can give Krishna consciousness in a unique way by making garlands, by giving lectures, by distributing books, by taking care of devotees. So many ways we can do. So crisis or suffering, if devotees are going through suffering, don't give up faith in Krishna. Know that this is an opportunity to discover your unique fascination in bhakti and unique contribution. And the essence is Srimad Bhagavatam. And this is where we discover all of this. So we request all the devotees that let us absorb ourselves in bhakti. In fact, this is what is declared by Shukdev Goswami, that why in Vrindavan Brajvasis were not perceiving material suffering. I'll end with this last shloka, then we can have some comments or questions. Iti nanda deyo gopa krishna rama katam muda kuruvanto rama manascha navindam bhavavedanam. They did not feel material suffering because iti nanda deyo gopa, Nanda Maharaj and all the gopas, Krishna rama katam muda, they were constantly glorifying Krishna. Because of that, kuruvanto rama manascha, their affection for Krishna increased and their enjoyment also increased, spiritual enjoyment. And the ultimate conclusion was navindam bhavavedanam. They did not perceive material miseries. So this is the essence of Krishna consciousness. The Devatas are glorifying Krishna. Let us also glorify Krishna. Let us take shelter of Krishna with respect to the Devatas. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Any comments or questions regarding today's class? Yes, Prabhu. Yeah. Mic. You'll get a mic.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. My question is, Prabhuji, Vishnuji is, scolding the demigods for fulfilling the desires of the living entities, but ultimately Vishnuji is only fulfilling the desires, right, through the demigods.
Yeah.
So then why is he scolding?
Rasa. I told you, I already end that section by saying, वो private conversation है उनका. अभी पति पत्नी झगड़ा कर रहे हैं, बेडरूम में चिल्ला रहे, झगड़ा कर रहे हैं, और आपने सुन लिया, आपके दोस्त है वो प्रभु जी, बाद में आप प्रभु जी को ये नहीं बोल सकते आपने ऐसा क्यों बोला, फिर आपने ये क्यों बोला. वो एक it's a service they are doing. The Devatas are doing a service of giving us our desires. But then here Bhagavatam is highlighting that aspect of the Lord where the Lord is teaching us the importance of pure devotional service. वो सिस्टम बनाया भगवान नहीं बनाया, but he also wants us to know, the Devatas to know that ultimately we should aspire for only pure devotional service. Bhagavatam focuses on pure devotional service. So you have come to Bhagavatam, that's why you are getting to hear this.
Right, Prabhuji. I've got one more question, Prabhuji. like all these demigods are glorifying Vishnu, and the knowledge of, this knowledge was also given by Krishna to, Brahmaji, Shivji, and, four Kumaras. So in Bhagavad Gita, why is it said that nobody knows me? Like even demigod doesn't know me. So why is this statement? How do we understand this, Prabhuji?
See, so what I'm saying now, statements have to be taken in a particular context. Nobody knows me means there are certain aspects nobody will know, only a pure devotee will know. But at the same time, the Lord is known. See, Lord is not known by anyone. You can't say that demigods don't know the Lord. They definitely know. But still the Lord will say, no, there are some pure devotees who know me best. See, don't zoom into one word or one statement. You see it in the whole context. When you read the whole Bhagavatam, then everything gets harmonized. In a conversation, if you zoom into the middle of a conversation, like if you enter in the Bhagavatam, suddenly into Shaubari Muni is enjoying with 50 queens. You'll think, Arey, kya fall down ho gaya hai to? But if you see after that, his lamentation, his repentance, and how he advances, what I'm saying is you read the whole pastime. You read the whole Bhagavad Gita. Everything is harmonized. Therefore, see, there are two things. Bhagavatam, when we are reading Bhagavatam, we need to always have this mood of opening our heart and allowing everything to come. Many of us, we get stuck on some sentence or some word. When you don't understand, continue reading, and then when you read the complete thing, it gets harmonized. See, there is a very beautiful lecture by Srila Prabhupada, November 1974 in Bombay. Prabhupada's amazing thing, in lectures, when he was giving in Bombay, India, he will give Indian examples. Because before this, he was in Los Angeles, and there he was giving examples connected to America. Like he will speak about traffic, American traffic, he will talk about tickets, the buildings. In India, he will give examples of the Pan Bidi Wala. so that lecture, beautiful lecture, Prabhupada is speaking about Bhagavatam. He says two aspects of Bhagavatam, which we all should know as sincere devotees. One is, he says, now, this is November 8, 1974. And some Indians are sitting, some Americans are sitting. He says, so, in this world, people cannot be happy with anything other than Krishna. You may have money, you may have everything, but without Bhagavatam, you will not be happy. Just like without sun, you cannot be happy. Darkness cannot go without sun. Now you may say, but I can have torch. I can use light. And Srila Prabhupada understands that. He says, all artificial light you may use, but none of them is substitute for sun. And then when I heard that, I was stunned, because if you see, most of us, what we are doing, we are okay with the substitute. But that does not replace the real light. Like for example, in the world right now, there are many countries where sun doesn't come for many, many days. Like many European countries, even in Alaska, US, minus 35 degrees, minus 20 degrees. And sun is not seen at all. And their life is going on nicely. They have full floodlights, baseball matches, tournaments, football matches. Light nahi hai karke kuch farak hi nahi padta. Sunlight. But because they don't get the real light, they have depression caused by lack of sunlight. It is called seasonal affective disorder, SAD, sad disease. One of the depression is because of no light. And you may say, but they have all the light. But it is artificial light. We need real light. Similarly, Prabhupada in that class says, you may have a lot of money, but that will not give happiness. Only Bhagavatam can give happiness. Look at these American boys. You think they have come to India because they want money? Prabhupada gives in Hindi we say, papi pet ka sawal hai. So in that whole class, Prabhupada is saying, so do you think they have problem of the belly? Belly? He keeps talking about belly. Like, in one lecture, Prabhupada says, Krishna is not your father's servant. So those who know Hindi, they understand what Prabhupada is saying. So American will not understand. What does it mean? Krishna is not your father's servant. So like that, Prabhupada is saying. So you think these boys have a belly, problem of belly? They are giving money. They can solve the problem of your belly. Today morning, I went to American Express. I got 9 lakh rupees. So some money transfer was there. 9 lakh rupees in 1974. Today it is 9 crores. So Prabhupada is saying 9 lakh rupees I got. Why? To solve your problem of belly. So they have so much money in America. But why they are not happy? They need Bhagavatam because money and all the luxuries you have, it is like artificial light. Ultimately that vacuum, that hollow जो खोखलापन है ना, वो जाएगा नहीं. उसके लिए भागवतम ही लगेगा, कृष्णा ही लगेगा. There is another problem. Prabhupada says Indians का दूसरा problem है. Indians के पास sun ही sun है. But you know what Indians are doing? They have closed the doors, windows and curtain डाल दिया और आंख में पट्टी डाल दिया and बोल रहे sun नहीं है, sun नहीं है, sun. And you are telling them remove the patti, remove the curtain. नहीं, sun दिखाओ, sun दिखाओ. So Indians' problem is there is sun, but we have forcefully covered ourselves. So Prabhupada says two things. One is we need knowledge of Bhagavatam, and for those who get the knowledge of Bhagavatam, like all of us, we should open our heart. We should open our eyes. We should be having that attitude of service. Prabhupada's famous example he gives is of Sanatana Goswami. Sanatana Goswami was Prime Minister. Prabhupada says he had a boat filled with gold. He was going with boat filled with gold. He was so wealthy, so intelligent. Prime Minister of Bengal in 1500s. That time Bengal was like, like today 3-4 European countries combined together. That time today's Bangladesh and a lot of Northeastern, everything was Bengal that time. And Sanatana Goswami was Prime Minister of that country. And when he meets Lord Chaitanya, Prabhupada says, he was not going to Lord Chaitanya to solve the problem of the belly. He is telling Lord Chaitanya, Gramya Vyavahara Pandita Kori Mani Apanara Hita Kichuhi Na Jani. Everybody is calling me great Pandit and I am such a fool, my dear Lord, that I believe them. Ke ami, kene amar, jaratapatre. Who am I? Why am I suffering? I don't have answers to these questions. Please tell me, my dear Lord. So Sanatana Goswami is in that mood of humility. He is asking. So we need to approach the Lord in that mood. So two problems regarding sunlight. One is no sunlight is a problem. Second,
the curtain.
Curtain. Similarly, no Bhagavatam, no wisdom, no Bhagavad Gita is a problem. And for us who are fortunate, who are blessed, what is the problem? Our eyes are closed. So we should open, allow the Bhagavatam to influence us, allow our hearts to be purified, and read the whole Bhagavatam in the complete context, and everything will be harmonized.
Right, Prabhuji.
Is that okay?
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
I need to stop now. It's touching 11.
One question.
Oh, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. You can give a comment.
The entire thing, we don't talk about Radhaji. Radhaji disappeared, Krishna, but we don't bring Radhaji in our context.
Yes, thank you. Shukdev Goswami doesn't speak about Radharani directly because if he says Anya Radhita, that he says one, thoda sa bol dete hain. Pura nahi bolte because then he would get into ecstasy and then he will not be able to complete Bhagavatam. Parikshit Maharaj ke paas bahut kam time hai. So that's why he doesn't glorify. But our acharyas have given about Radharani and we are happy to glorify Srimati Radha. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. We stop here. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.